Hey guys, Corruption here. Welcome to episode 60 of my Minecraft survival let's play. Wow, it's been a long time since I've done that intro. The last episode I built this giant squid, and yeah, probably wondering why there's a giant hole in the top of it. Well, it turns out to build a squid farm, squids need access to the sky, so I had to mine out this whole area here and then change where the farm was inside, and yeah, at least it works now. I'll probably make this look better at some point, but yeah. I think I AFK'd here for like 20 minutes and I managed to get, you know, a few stacks of insects. But in today's episode, we're going to be building a giant pumpkin, and to be honest, I'm not really too sure where I'm going to make it. I'm thinking somewhere around here, since we could probably extend the ocean of farms out this way. And like usual, I need a bunch of sand, gravel and terracotta to build this giant pumpkin. But I don't really think you guys want to watch me mine that stuff again, so let's do it a bit different this time. I'm going to fill up this shulker box with sand, and then I'm going to fill up this shulker box with gravel, and then finally this shulker box with terracotta. But I think we might need another one, so I'm also just going to fill this one with terracotta. Bam! Right, I think that's now every single material we need. Oh yeah, then behind me I also have a bunch of extra materials that I'm going to need. I already had like a bunch of sand and gravel at the base. I've also got a load of bone meal and dandelions and red dye to make a bunch of orange dye, since we are probably going to need like 10 stacks of orange dye, and I've also just got a load of other materials that I found. And I'm now going to fly and see where I'm actually going to build this thing and then mark it out. Alright guys, and that square right there is the outline of where this pumpkin is going to go. And just like we've done with the creeper, bamboo and also this skeleton skull, I'm going to be building a grass block just like the one you see here. But obviously because the pumpkin is going to be like a full block and it's going to be the same size as the grass block, it's going to be like this, so it'll just be like some green pixels at the bottom here, just like how this gold block is sitting on top of a sand block. I'm also just going to build a temporary little raft right over here, just like I always do to build the materials on. And I would start building the grass block right now guys, but we've got something to do. Let's go and get everything new from the Copper Age update. And ironically, I'm going to grab a few pumpkins. If I get some of these waxed oxidized copper blocks, I place some pumpkins on top, I grab some shears, we can get ourselves the brand new copper golems. Look at these guys. And also the copper chests. You can also craft these chests with just a chest and 8 copper around it. And also if you leave these copper golems too late and you don't wax them, they turn into statues, which I think is really cool. And with these chests, you can also just oxidize them, just like any other block. I mean, unoxidize them, but you can also oxidize them. And also, as you can see, these copper golems can also be oxidized and turned into different variants. Just like that. I'm also going to wax this guy so he stays like this forever. And I think something that would be really cool, if I just delete these chests here and replace them with copper chests, and now any items that end up in here, these copper golems will then sort out into this sorter. So it's basically an automatic overflow auto sorter. And I think if you kill these guys, well okay, I guess we're not going to kill him, but I think if you kill him you just get copper. Or I literally said you're not going to kill me, I'm going to turn into a statue before you can kill me. But these things are really annoying because they don't actually stack. I think right here I am just going to create a chest for these copper golems just because they don't stack. I've also got to make sure I wax these chests. Another thing that I think would be quite cool is, could I somehow put a copper golem statue on top of this? Yeah, look at that. He's on a little post. That's pretty cool to be fair. But there is so much more you can do. You can now craft copper bars. I mean, these look pretty cool. I don't know why I'd use them, but they do look pretty cool. You can now craft copper nuggets, which can be used to craft copper chains, which also look very cool. But guys, the best thing in this update is the copper torch by far. I mean, green torches. Like, what could we possibly ask for, guys? I am literally green, and I've added green torches. Look how cool these things look. Oh, but it gets even better, guys. Copper lanterns are green, and when they oxidize, they are literally, the whole thing is green. It is a green lantern. So I'm gonna craft a bunch of these copper lanterns, and I think you guys know what I'm about to do. I'm gonna change every single lantern at my base to these copper lanterns. It could take a little while, but it has to be done. So enjoy this little montagey thing. Alright, and I think that is now every single lantern, and I'm not even joking guys, that literally took me well over an hour, and eventually they'll all turn like this. This is how green they'll be. Chances are I've probably missed a few, but like I can't really lie about it. Oh, my copper golem has a flower on top of it. And I did kind of also forget about copper armor and copper tools right here, but yeah, we now have copper armor and copper tools, which is pretty cool. And whilst I was changing all the lanterns, I did also put a bunch of copper blocks on the floor here, hoping that they'd oxidize, and I guess some of them have. The reason I wanted them to oxidize is because I'm going to be adding all of these new blocks to the auto sorter in this massive space right here. No copper golems were harmed in the making of this auto sort. Alright, so it's been a little while. I'm now just waiting on these last couple block stocks to die, but I've pretty much got everything now that I'm going to add to the auto sorter. And I'm also going to be adding these blocks onto here, because I realized I already had the copper lightning rod right here. And those are all of the items that I'm going to be adding to the auto sorter. And guys, there's just one more copper thing left to get, the copper horse armor. Now, to get these things you could go end city looting, but I think what I'm going to do is go looking for dungeons, because they're like the most common place you can find them. And I do eventually want to build like a zombie spawner and a spider spawner, just like I did with the skeleton over there. So I think what I want to do is just look for one of those spawners at the same time as looking for the copper horse armor. I guess I'll just dig down and see what happens. So I found a cave. It doesn't go anywhere. Aha! I've dug into a mine shaft. This could be... Oh my god, wait, is that... I don't think I want a cave spider spawner, so that's fine. Alright, so I've explored most of it. The only thing I seem to find is minecart chests. Like, look at this, there's one there, and there's two right next to each other here. But sadly, copper horse armor doesn't spawn in minecart chests. What? What is this scam? This is literally a spawner, but it's been cut off, so there's no chests or anything. Yes! No way! Oh, there is a spawner, but there's no chests. And it's a skeleton one, which I've already built a farm for. Oh my god, no way. Enchanter's golden apple before I find copper horse armor. Look how much loot I've got just from minecarts alone. I found like 100 of them. I found another spawner, and there's a zombie one, which we do need, but please have copper horse armor. It does! Yes! Oh my god, that took like half an hour. And in the other chest, it doesn't have anything. And right here is where that zombie spawner is. So I could probably build like a zombie head here or something and build like an underground system to it. And if you guys are wondering, this is how the copper horse armor actually looks on a horse. But we're obviously going to put diamond, because that is the best one. Well, at the moment it is, because they're going to actually add netherite horse armor, which is quite cool. With this one copper horse armor, we can add it to the copper horse armor chest. And there is just one feature that I actually nearly forgot about, and that is shelves. These things are actually really cool. I'm a big fan of these, because you can put items in. Look how cool the items look. And I think if you also power them, yeah, switch out your hotbar and stuff. Look at that. And these shelves also come in every wood type, and they could also be very good for decoration, because they're basically like a vertical slab. Maybe I could do it here. That looks so cool. Possibilities are endless. Anyway, enough of the Copper Age update. That is everything that the update actually has. So let's get back to building the giant pumpkin. One thing I did forget is I need some brown dye, so I'm going to have to farm this cocoa bean farm for the first time. And then with all that brown dye, I'm going to craft a bunch of brown concrete powder, bone meal a bunch of dandelions to get yellow dye, and then with that yellow dye, craft a bunch of yellow concrete powder. And now I'm going to convert all of this concrete powder into concrete using this concrete converter, which is much faster than building a giant tower, and way more satisfying. And to be honest, what I might actually do is just extend it by 8 blocks, so it's like 32 blocks wide, and then it'll do like 2 stacks exactly. And there we go, it's been solidly extended. So now it will convert exactly 2 stacks of blocks. And that right there is now all the concrete converted. And let's start off by building the grass block. I kind of forgot that I needed green concrete powder, so we're going to have to convert that here. And now that we have everything we need, let's build this grass block. Boom! That is the grass block now built. I totally didn't run out of green dye instead of having to smelt some cactus halfway through, you know? And with that done, on top of this now, we can start building the giant pumpkin. This thing is going to be so cool, just you guys wait. Something I didn't actually mention is that in this build, I'm actually going to be using terracotta itself, which means I don't have to use any dye for that part. And if you're wondering how I'm actually building this thing, what I've done is I've took a picture of the pumpkin, and I'm basically just looking at these pixels right here, and getting blocks that match these pixels. And then I'm just hoping that eventually it'll look good. Mr. Enderman, with your glowing purple eyes. I didn't mean to look at you. There's another one down there. Can you like go? Alright, I think I'm about halfway done to the first side now, and I just want to quickly check that this is looking like a pumpkin. Does that right there at the bottom look like that? Maybe. You got like the lines going up the side, you got the lines going up there. I think that's fine. Let's build the rest of it. That is the first side done. That is pretty cool, to be fair. And for some reason, guys, I literally have hardly any gravel left. Surely I didn't use it all for this, right? I've also got no more yellow dye left, so I'm going to have to burn a bunch more dandelions. And this is also the orange terracotta I have left, but I have an idea how to get loads more. So what I'm going to do is quickly use my gold farm to repair my tools, which have hardly any durability left. And finally, my tools are now pretty much repaired. And the first material on the ground is a bunch more gravel. There we go. And the next material I want to get is a load more orange terracotta. And I do actually have a plan to get loads of it if I just go into the nether. And then I'm just going to magically teleport into the Badlands biome, just like that. I totally didn't have to fly here or anything. And if you look at this floor here, it's all orange terracotta. So I'm going to save a load of orange dye just by mining out this entire floor here. And there we go. Managed to get all of that orange terracotta. I also got a little bit of yellow terracotta for later on. And finally, there's just one more material I want to get, and that is a load more yellow dye. Alright, and hopefully that is enough yellow dye to last us. So now, let's start building the second side. How have I already made a mistake? I'm like 2 pixels in and I've made a mistake. And I've made another mistake. Easily fixed though. And just like that, guys, the second side has been built. So now let's build the third side. And there we go. I really hope that editing turned out well. But just in case it didn't, for the last side, let's just do one of these. And boom! There we go. Yeah, it wouldn't be a corruption video without an and boom in there somewhere. But now I'm going to build the actual pumpkin farm right in here. So let's fly back to base. And before I do grab the materials, I just want to do a few things. Not crash into a light. That wasn't one of them. First thing is adding someone to the Hall of Fame. And that person is Ethane Fields. Let me also give you your blue dye and your glowing sack. There we go, another person has been added to the Hall of Fame. And if you guys want to be added right here next episode, then be sure to comment below your YouTube username and whatever dye you want to put in your sign, and next episode I'll add someone. And like usual, that isn't the only sign I'm going to be adding, because I'm going to be adding a new sign into the Hall of Milestones, which is going to be 5 million total views. That is a lot. And last episode I told you guys to like drop some names for these happy guys, and I got one suggestion. Shrek. Yeah, and I think I'm going to name the black one, and I don't really know what I'll name it. I literally cannot think of names. I'm just going to do a generic name. I'm just going to call him James. There you go, Shrek. And there you go, James. And there's also one more thing I want to do before I collect the materials for the pumpkin farm. And I'm surprised I haven't done this yet. I must have just forgotten. It's been a little while, but a few episodes ago, my pet cat, Bets, died. More murdered than died. Just, yeah, show the clip.
Right. No second chances.
Okay. Die. What? Why need to... No! No!
You did not listen.
And I never built him like a proper tombstone or anything, so I'm going to make a little grave. And I'm probably going to build it somewhere here. I kind of just grabbed some cool blocks that I found on my chests. Rest in peace, Bets. You will be missed. Let's also put an item frame with a raw fish on it and put a glowing sack on there. Yeah, and I think that'll do. Now let's grab the materials. Alright, so I've gathered most of the materials now, and I think the first thing I'm going to do is figure out where I want the entrance to be for the chest area. I think I'm going to have to chest somewhere down here. Oh, wait a second. I've just realised I didn't have to get rid of this cobblestone. And there we go. These 2 pixels I'm just going to mine out, and this will be where the chests are. This is what I've built so far. I've just got some chests and like ender chests and crafting tables and stuff. But then behind this is where the actual pumpkin farm's going to be. And just like what I did with this squid, I'm going to build this little setup right here, which will then stop like this hopper minecart when the materials get to here. And I'm also going to build a giant platform just like this with a bunch of rails for the hopper minecart to go around. Alright, I think that should be it. And now I just simply want to build a giant square. Then I'm just going to get my rails and place them all down. Realise that I don't have any more iron, and I'm also out of redstone. Luckily I do know where a mine shaft is, so give me a second. I just realised I've missed an entire part of this mine shaft with even more stupid minecart chests. So how many more am I going to find? Somehow I missed diamonds as well. And more diamonds in this chest. And after that nice little stock up on materials, let's finish this pumpkin farm. Alright, I think that is now the rails done. So if I put the minecart hopper down, it should then go all the way around. And then on top of this, I'm just going to place an entire layer of dirt. Then I'm just going to break out a few of these dirt blocks, place some oak slabs at the bottom of them, and this will contain the water that's going to be in them, so they don't flood and destroy all the rails down there. And then now we need to do some tilling of the ground. I want it to be like a kind of checkerboard pattern, just like that. And then now we can grab all of our pumpkin seeds and start placing them down. I think I'm also going to do a border out of cobblestone right here. Then I'm just going to fill in these gaps that I've just made in with glass. Place torches on the outside over here. And I'm hoping that that'll be enough light for all of these pumpkins to actually grow, but I guess we'll find out. And I think I'm also going to do some more cobblestone over here. And this is where the redstone stuff comes in. So on top of every single pumpkin, we need to place an observer. I guess they're not pumpkins yet, but like pumpkin seeds around. There we go. It should look something like that. I've also placed cobblestone on top of where the water is, because you don't need anything there. And on top of every single observer, we need a piece of redstone. Then we need to place cobblestone in another checkerboard pattern, but like off of these redstone dusts, like this. Finally, that was really annoying to do. The final step is just to place pistons underneath right here where these observers are. And these pistons will then break the pumpkins when they spawn in. Oh man, I need like 5 more pistons. And that, guys, is pretty much the farm built. Also, I just had a really good idea. Why don't I just place some lanterns here for lighting? With that done, let's finally get this pumpkin built and build the roof. This is going to be a little bit annoying because I'm building the orange concrete powder. I have to build a platform below it and then place it. And I'm out of sand. Great. Why is there like 1,000 mobs over there? Oh, that scared the living crap out of me. I literally just jumped out my chair. No. Oh. Alright guys, the only part left to do is this middle part right here. So 3, 2, 1, BAM! There we go! The pumpkin is built! Oh, I love building these giant blocks. I also mustn't forget to clean up all the stuff I left down here. Do I have any pumpkins so far? Oh, I do. 25 pumpkins, not bad. Considering I don't think that all of the stems have grown yet. No, they haven't. This could be quite an efficient farm, to be fair. Oh, I didn't actually patch that wall in. There we go. Alright, I'm just going to put all this stuff back at base and chuck it in the soil, and I'll be back in just a second. There we go. Bet you couldn't even see the cut. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Wait. Before I do the outro, I realised that I've forgotten something. See, I'm in the middle of editing right now, and I've completely forgot about the ancient debris in this shulker box. You see, every 5th episode, I'm just going to smelt this ancient debris that I got from live streaming. Since every like few weeks, I do like a live stream on Twitch, and I just get a bunch of ancient debris. And over the course of 5 episodes, I'll then smelt it and then add it to the Netherite beacon, since one of my main goals is to get full Netherite beacon as well. But yeah, I literally just completely forgot about smelting this, so we're going to do it now. Alright, and after a little bit of time, it's now all done smelting. So let's turn it all into ingots, and we can craft a total of 11 blocks of netherite. That is insane. So let's add it all to the beacon, and I think this is it. We have completed the first layer of the netherite beacon, guys. That's a big moment right there. And we can start the second layer 6 blocks in as well. This thing actually might be possible now. Yeah, that was that. So back to me doing the outro. Please consider subscribing because it does mean a lot to me. And I'm going to see you guys next episode where I'm going to build an ice castle. Yeah, an ice castle. And it's going to obviously be for Christmas. Yeah, Christmas is very close. I can't believe it's been a year since I built my giant Christmas tree. Anyway, that's Pumpkin, and this is me signing out. Hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!